this morning. I gotta work on this. Some 1/4 inch. I'm gonna make something for my wife for her birthday. I got it all programmed up on my computer, which I need to get going because it's freaking cold in my shop. Take it a while to get going. But it's essentially, it's gonna be several layers of this that I'm gonna essentially glue together. Each layer is gonna be a different color of stain, and it pretty much the outside layer will be a heart with my wife's name on it. The second layer will be, everything will, actually let me wait till the program pulls up over here. It'll be a little easier to explain. Well, that's booting up. I'm gonna eat my breakfast. I got coffee and English muffin going this morning, so I'm gonna get that ate while this is warming up, and then I'll show you kind of on my program what I got. I'm gonna try to make for her. We'll see how this works. I'm afraid that this is gonna like kind of chip when I go to cut it, because I'm gonna V-carve every family member's name in like a certain heart, and it'll all be layers. It'll look 3-dimensional. We'll see how it goes. So you can see this is the top heart. It has her name there. It says Delisha. And then each one of these, so this one will lay on top of this one will lay on top of that one, that one, that one. So this is her oldest son, Dylan, right here. Then me, our daughter, Kyla, and our son, Driver. These will go together in the order that we have come into her life, essentially. So it'll be Delisha, then Dylan, me, Kyla, then Driver. As these stack, each one of these little hearts is the order she met us, or we came into her life. And then right here it says, your love holds us together. So as her kids start having kids, I'll be able to add hearts to this, and it'll just be 3-dimensional looking through it, because all this will be hollow, and you'll just see the names in these little teeny hearts. So as her kids start having grandkids, I'll be able to add to this thing, and it'll just keep getting deeper and deeper. I'll kind of show you what it looks like on the simulation. That's just kind of the toolpath there. So if I click simulation here, so you can kind of see that's what it'll look like. This will be completely gone. All this border will be gone. It'll just be this outline of this heart. So each one of the names will be in here in a different level as I put these pieces together. So yeah, we'll see how this turns out. I'm pretty excited about it. I think it's going to be pretty cool. It's got some sentimental, so I'm going to try to use this. I got this like carpet tape to stick my board down, because this is only 1/4 inch. If I try to run my nail, let me show you from this side. If I try to use my brad nailer and nail here to here, what happens is, since I can only get 1-inch nails for my nail gun, I can't find anything smaller. When it goes through here to stick into my wasteboard where I want it to go, it actually goes too deep and it hits this board below, and what happens is it pushes my wasteboard up, even though I have this thing screwed down in a ton of spots. So I'm going to try to use this double back tape, see if it'll hold this down so I can get these hearts cut out. We'll see how it works. I'm hoping it works pretty decent, because if it does, I'm going to do the same thing later today with that plexi. I'm just going to stick it down with double back tape and cut it. I do have these little clamps that come with my machine. I might use this for that. They're just a little bit tall. I might be able to do that number and hold this down. Maybe I will do that. That might work better. So maybe I'll try that. When that plexi comes, it's 1/2 inch, so these clamps should work really well, because I got all these threaded inserts. I don't know if you can see them inside these holes. It allows me to bolt these down. So maybe I'll try to use these on here. I think I got like 6 of them. Yeah, it'll probably work. And it'll probably work pretty good for that plexi too, because I'm actually going to cut it out, and there'll be excess on that plexi. So we'll see what happens here. I'll get this kind of bolted up, see if I can make those clamps work. Alright, we're about to get going here. I did want to show you this. I got my clamps. I got 3 on this side, and I got 2 over there, because it's getting kind of close to where the cutter's going to run. The one thing I did tell you, I do need to tell you, in the middle here, I took that double back tape and put it here, here, and here. Just strips from about there all the way to the back. The reason I did that is this board, it's really thin, it's only 1/4 inch, it's doing that number. So I used the tape to hold the middle down, and then these clamps are going to hold it in place as it's cutting. This program is going to use 2 bits. We got, this is my V-carve bit. You can see it's just a 90-degree. Hopefully that'll help a little bit. This will carve all my text. It'll V-carve it in there. And then I'm going to use this other one. It's a 3-flute. It's a 201 if you're on Shapeoko's website. It's a 201 bit. It's just a 1/4 inch 3-flute. That'll cut all the contour and the profile around the outside. So it's just 2 bits. I got my program loaded. My tools in there. We're about to start cutting here. I'm going to go over, set my tool length. Okay, we're at a stop. It's going to tell us we're going to put our dust cover on. Pretty close. I'm going to adjust it just a little bit. I like to be able to see the bit. Okay, so we got that on. Next thing it's going to tell us kick spindle on at 10,000 RPM. So that's setting 1. So the router here, it just has a dial that you can pick the speeds on. I printed this off their Shapeoko. I got their router, their spindle. It came with this, so I had my wife blow it up and I just put it in there so I know what each one of the settings are. So we're gonna run on 1. I'm gonna kick this stuff on. You guys probably won't be able to hear me. I'll kind of record a little bit of it running though. So that's setting 1. It's pretty slow. I usually kick the V-carve up when I'm cutting plastic, so we'll see what it does in wood and then I may adjust it. Alright, I got this thing cut out. It's not perfect. I still got to sand everything, stain everything, and you can see I messed up. I got to do some sanding. I still got my tabs I got to clean up, sand everything. I got to stain it. Obviously, I got to recut this one. I forgot that was there, and I didn't overlay this layer with that one, so it's covering driver's name. So I'm going to have to redo the bottom one, move it probably over here somewhere. Or maybe I'll put it hanging down here, I don't know, somewhere. I'm going to move it though and recut that last one. I was a little worried when I cut this that it was going to chip. It did chip just a little bit. I think once I'm done sanding on it, it'll be alright. But you can kind of see how that thing is like, they're all in different layers. And it's like 3-dimensional. It's kind of cool. I might have to make some kind of stand to hold it up like that when it's all said and done. But like I said, it's just 1/4 inch. You can see I got my little tabs right here. I got to come back through, sand those off. Then I'll stain each one of these a different color. So it'll probably be like dark light kind of thing. Then I'll glue it all together and it'll be one piece. It'll be kind of 3-dimensional. I'll probably make a little stand for it to hold it up. It was pretty cool. All right, everybody. I still have quite a few projects laying around here. People haven't come and picked up or haven't paid, whatever, traded. My cement form truck's still here. I haven't heard from them. It's been snowy and cold. So my pad still isn't done. We're a couple weeks into it now. It's not their fault. It's just the weather. They have to have so many days of nice weather before they'll actually pour, which I'm glad. I don't want my concrete looking like crud. So still got that in here. Still got this in here. I did talk to him. He's super excited. He's got a buddy that's going to help him wire it, get it all up and running. Hopefully in a later video I'll be able to show you guys the lights and stuff once he gets all the lights hooked up. I held it up to his rock lights. The speaker box looks awesome. I did get it totally done, all sealed up. It's sitting right there. It's so cool because you can just see right through it. It's neat. But it's done. I had another buddy that was supposed to be coming up today. He needed some shock mounts put on his tough truck. He said he was bolting some stuff on. Looked like he put some new springs in the front. The other ones might have been a little collapsed. He's got some aftermarket shocks that he needs some upper lower mounts put on, I believe is what he's got going on. Just kind of talking to him on the phone. He was supposed to be up. His tough truck doesn't like cold either. So he's like, I'm gonna wait because I don't think it'll start. So that was supposed to be last weekend. He's supposed to come up this weekend. We're in the middle of having another winter storm come through at the end of April. This is the second one in like 3 weeks. So we've been getting a lot of snow in April. It's weird. It's not something we normally get. It's starting to spring up a little bit and it's still winter. So anyways, I'm switching gears. I'm going on to something else. You guys probably remember this from another video. This is my wife's birthday present that was supposed to be done on the 15th, and it's like, I don't know, the 19th or some 20th. I don't know what day it is. I'm a little kabobbled. I actually took yesterday off work. I was feeling a little under the weather because of the 12-hour shifts I've been working, going to night shift, working my business on the side, and just burning the candle from both ends. I was just burnt out. But anyway, so tough truck's not up here, so I'm gonna move on to this. I got these all sanded. I'm gonna try to find some stain. I'm gonna stain, so this is the top piece. It'll be dark, light, dark, light, dark. Then I'll get them all stained, probably nail and glue them together because they overlap each other. Then I'll put some stuff over. It's called Deft, I believe. It's just like it's like a clear coat pretty much for stain. Put that over the top. So that's what I'm kind of working on, trying to get this done. Me and my son were talking about what we're gonna work on next. I think that big black Jeep over there is going under the knife. I'm gonna start pulling it apart again. It's like I don't know, I've had the original motor, a throttle body 350 in it, this LT1 out of a 96 Camaro in it, multiple transmissions. I was young when I built that thing. I know a lot more now. Like I said, I'm no mechanic. I do it mainly out of necessity. More of a fabricator, so I'm gonna rip that thing apart. I'm pulling the whole running gear out of it. Motor, transmission, transfer case, I'm gonna sell it all. I'll keep the axles and the suspension, the body, and I'm gonna start looking for a Hemi out of a newer Grand Cherokee. That's what I originally wanted in this thing. I just couldn't afford it when I was 19. I didn't have the money. I still don't have the money. Imagine that, right? But we're gonna start picking at it, at least get everything pulled out, see if I can sell it, make a little bit of money off of it. You know, the motor in it, ever since I put it in there, has like 2 pounds of oil pressure, 5, at an idle on a manual gauge. I could never get it to read on, I have autometer gauges in there. I could never get a reading on the autometer gauge, so I went to an actual manual oil pressure gauge, and I could get about 5 pounds at idle. Once you rev it up, it gets about 60. So there's definitely something going on in the motor. I don't know anything about motors, really. I've done some motor swaps, but I don't know how to take a motor apart. I'm not that kind of guy. I would do it out of necessity if I had to, but I'm not going to tell you I'm a rocket scientist at it. It's just not my thing. I hate nuts and bolts when it comes to mechanicking. So, but I am going to tear it apart, pull everything out of it. I'm hoping in the middle of this it'll become a real pain in the butt, and I can talk my wife into letting me actually buy the lift, because right underneath that Jeep on both sides there's 2 pads. One on this side, one on this side, in the concrete for an actual engine or a car lift, a 2-post. They're like 10 feet long, foot thick, I think, and like 2 foot wide. When my concrete guys poured it, I had them dig that out and we poured them deep so I could put a hoist in there someday. Trying to think ahead. We'll see how close it gets to my loft. It's gonna be pretty tight. That might be sitting right against there. I don't know, we'll see. I might have to notch them. I don't know. We'll see when we get that far. But I think in future videos, you guys keep watching. You're going to start seeing videos of this, me pulling it apart. I think that's the route we're going. We're either going to do that or the old truck underneath the loft. but I think we're going for the big Jeep, at least the teardown of it, pulling the motor, transfer case. I don't have an engine hoist, so we're gonna have to figure that out too. I don't know if the rafters are gonna hold that much weight. I don't know what a motor weighs, but I'm guessing several hundred pounds. It is an iron block, so I think it's iron-headed block too. I can't remember. It's been a while since I put that in there. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to figure that out. I might go to the rafters. I don't know if they'll hold it. We'll see when I get that far. But yeah, that's gonna be probably next on the list. So guys, keep watching. Subscribe, like. You will see that in the future. It's been a long time coming. I started that when I was 19, so I'm now very much older than that. I'm like 40. So yeah, that's in our future. I want to get up in the mountains with the kids and kind of experience that with them. We haven't done it a whole lot since we've had kids, so I want to get back into it. We've mainly been tough trucking, going races and stuff, and they experience that, but I want to get them out in that thing since, you know, my oldest son rode in that when it was a lot smaller, sitting on like 33s. So yeah, we're gonna get to that. That'll be in the future. So guys, please like and subscribe, so we can start working on that. Try to get these views up, get us out there. All right, so back to this. I'm gonna try to find a scrap piece of this, do some test splotches with some stains, see which colors I kind of like that are gonna go kind of dark light opposite of each other. Once I get that far, I'll kind of show you guys what I'm doing. I have not stained a whole lot of stuff. I haven't worked with a ton of wood, especially when it comes to this. I think this lettering, when I stain it, I think it'll leave a dark line around here, so that'll pop. Either that, or I'll try to stay away from it so that the white color of the wood really shows through. The other thing I thought about doing is filling this with epoxy. My son's done a lot of epoxy stuff. He does woodworking stuff, Lightning Customs. He does all my editing too, so I may have him fill that, all the lettering with epoxy. I just don't know where I'm going with it yet. I'm kind of winging this as I'm going, so it is what it is. You know, it'll look good when it's done. I'm sure my wife already loves it, so that's really all that matters. All right, you guys, we had quite a, wasn't really a debate, more of a trying to make a decision on this. As you can see, I got all sorts of, this was like scrap stuff I had left over from cutting this thing. It was tough for my wife to decide what she wanted. We even tried some paint samples we had here. I already scuffed that, but what we're essentially going with is this. It's special walnut. So that's going to be the dark color. I've done the light ones here already. What I did, I had these foam brushes and I just painted it on. So you can see I got those three done. So that's the top one, then me, or Dylan, then me, then Kyla, then Driver. So these two will be dark in between there. So I'm going to do the dark ones right now. The light ones are currently drying. Then I'll put all this together, and then I'll put like some kind of clear coat over it. So I tried to keep this stain out of the names. Let's see if I can get it over here. Sorry, shadows again. So I tried to keep the stain out of the names. It looks like it's soaking in there a little bit, but I might come back through with some coloring, some epoxy, something to make the names pop. So that's kind of where we're at right now. I'll get these dark ones stained and then kind of show you guys the contrast. There's not a ton of contrast to it. I was hoping it'd be a little darker. My wife doesn't like the really dark stains, so it is what it is. I made it for her, so whatever makes her happy. All right, everyone, I got the dark stain on here. Everything's kind of drying right now. I told you I was trying to keep the stain out of that V-carved lettering. It didn't work, kind of like I thought. It just soaked down in there. So I just left it. It actually made it a little darker because it's thicker. But you can see there's the dark color. Here's the light color. So you can see the contrast we're gonna have when we put them together. Every layer will be a different color. So that'll be essentially the top one sitting over it. So the next hearts will be dark. Should look pretty cool. Yeah, so we're gonna have to let this dry for a while, then I'm gonna have to come back through and I'm probably gonna put another coat on the light layer right now, because I did do a couple coats on the dark because I wanted it to be just a little bit darker. I'm not wiping any of this off. A lot of times I'll see people like, well, they'll stain it, wipe it clean with a rag. I'm just leaving it. Hopefully it'll give it a darker color. It's going to take a lot longer to dry, I have a feeling, but it should turn out. We'll see. Like I said, I'm not a giant woodworker. I just have a router, so that's why I'm kind of doing this out of wood for her. It should look pretty good though. I'm going to see if I can get my wife's reaction on film. We'll see how long it takes her to get out here. This could be like 45 minutes of waiting for her. Did turn out pretty cool though. Where it's gonna be. Try to get out of my shadow here. Let's try to hold this over it so you guys can see it a little better what it's gonna look like. But my shadow keeps getting in the way. So you can see the contrast between the light and the dark. It's gonna be pretty cool. What do you think?
Are you recording right now?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
This is my wife, by the way.
Way, way better.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's a lot better now that it's on the actual pieces instead of just on some splotch.
Yeah.
So yeah, look.
I love it.
Pretty cool.
That's so cool.
Yeah, like I said, the stain kind of ran into there, but
Yeah, that's okay.
so I just filled it in.
What's this?
Hey, don't worry about that.
Okay.
That's going to be covered by one of the other hearts. That's why I wasn't worried about it. It chipped when I cut it on the router.
Understand.
That is one thing I will tell you guys, like cutting this stuff, it's really thin. It's only 1/4 inch and it's like particle board or not particle board, plywood. So when I was cutting it with my router, it did chip in a couple little spots. You can see there's a pretty good one right there, but there's going to be a heart over the top of this, so you won't see any of this. You can see I accidentally carved her name in there. It'll be covered so you'll never see it because these are all going to stack on top of each other. Oh, I can't wait for it to be done.
Beautiful.
Now I got to make some kind of stand for it to hold it up, or maybe she'll hang it on the wall. What do you think?
I don't know. Yeah.
We'll decide. We'll get it once she gets it where she wants it. I'll get you kind of a final product against our wall, because our walls are kind of like a grayish. It's really weird. Our colors of our wall kind of changes from like a gray to a beige. So, what do you think? You love it?
Love it.
All right. Love it. Bye. All right, everybody. I finally got this done for my wife. Kind of had to show you the final product. Try to get into some light here. You can see I got multiple different layers. We got light, dark, all the way through. You can see the hearts are at different layers. Just gave it like really three-dimensional. And I just used super glue to put it together. I just put a couple little lines on each layer, stuck it together, and then I put a piece of paper over it and stuck a piece of like 1/4 inch steel I had on top of it and let the super glue dry, and now it's all as one piece. It's gonna look pretty cool. Not sure where she's gonna hang it or what she's gonna do with it, but it is done. Okay, you can see I've V-carved everything. It's got each one of our names. Turned out pretty good. There's a little bit of chipping on this one right here, but it's not horrible.